I mean, this, to me, the biggest change this season in terms of watching your team play has been how much you keep possession in the final third, the sustaining of attacks, stopping counter-attacks, and the full-backs are critical in your system. I'll just stop it in a second to get into a shape. So you just think about the two centre-backs and those full-back positions in that arc with Fernandinho, and then obviously you have Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva. I'm interested as a full-back in terms of obviously your shape of the team and how you play with. If you think of those two being in there,
this was the 11 that you picked most last season, incidentally.
So I'm interested. If you take Kyle Walker, who I know and I've worked with, how does he know when to be here, when to go here, when to go forward? In terms of, if you're coaching me as a full, what type of practices do you do every day so he knows where to be and when to be? How have you trained him? Because I've watched Kyle Walker for 6-7 years, and you're playing him completely differently than he's ever played before. How do you get a player to adapt so quickly in training, and what type of practices do you do with him?
Well, Kyle, for example, is better playing wide than here for his quality. But Fabian Delph, after we had a problem with Mendy injured 6 months, we didn't have another one. We tried with Danilo, but Danilo's right foot, so leaving left sometimes suffer. And therefore, the quality of holding midfield player can play in that position. But it's not fixed the position. You always have to play here, have to play here. Yeah. You just try to move. It depends of the moment. The Kevin, the moment, the Silva. For the quality, Leroy is better to be wide than inside, for example. Of course, Rush can play inside, and after what has happened, Kyle to play wide. I said with Kyle, you are inside, but you can attack. You can attack in that way, not only in that way. So it depends of the movement of the people in front of them. So it's just to, I don't know, another way to attack, to be more covered, to be more. I like when the passes are the short passes. Here the passes are longer, here are shorter.
Why do you like that?
And, I love that,
Why do you like the shorter passes in there?
Because you miss less passes. To passes the 15 meters is more risky to lose the ball than pass the 5 meters. And when you lose the ball, passes the 5 meters, your transition is always shorter and
easy to get the ball back.
Easy to go back. When you are in that distance, and you lose the ball, that gap is so big, you cannot control it. When you are here, always you can pass the ball. When you lose the ball, always you are immediately, you can make the transition.
And predominantly in the practices that you do, is this shape to keep possession or to prevent counter-attack, or is it always both?
Both are connected. Football is not attack or defend. So it's always are connected. It's not timeouts in football. You said, okay, stop, now we're going to defend, stop, now we're going to attack. It's how you always are fluid in both sides. When you play, for example, that's why when you play against Liverpool, for example, against United, then they're so good using the counter-attack. It's so difficult to control them.
The game the year before, this is the game at Leicester this season, but the game the year before you did get counter-attacked on quite a few times.
A lot, yeah.
Is that the influence now? The players are starting to learn and be convinced by the training program.
When you suffer, a lot of teams, for example, Leicester, they are a master team using with Bardi, Mahrez, Okazaki, with all the players, the counter-attack. They won the league in that way. They are excellent. You cannot control that. It's so complicated. No, in that position, if he runs, he's been controlled. If Fabi is here, in that situation, that gap, they can punish you in that situation here, but one guy has to be here. But when Leroy comes here, he can be wide, another one is going to control that. The situation is try to control the counter if you want to play like that image in this part of the pitch. Fabi, now is Fabi's position like his natural position, like a midfield player. If you ask another player to do that, maybe
you have to adapt. Is that why you asked him to go in there? Is that why you asked him specifically to play in that left full-back?
Yeah.
Because you know he could do that.
But it's the same. Last season was with us, Fabi, and never played in that position. I didn't realize. And for circumstances, injured Mendy, Fabi, you have to play there. It's okay. You're going to do that. You're holding midfielder with the ball. It's always concentration is good and winning duels. He can play there. So when the people say, oh, Pep, how good it is, why I didn't realize last season to that? Maybe I had Gael, I had Cola. you know, in that positions and did it quite well. But this season, Mendy was injured unfortunately 6 months, and Zinchenko's number 10. Zinchenko's a number 10 player, holding midfield and playing the fullback. And against Chelsea, playing like a fullback and play good. But you ask him go up and down, he cannot do that. With Fabi asking up and down, like Mendy or Kyle Walker, cannot do that. So being there, you say pass the ball, control that guy, and it's enough.